left field. It will drop. Here comes Blanco. Benintendi's throw is offline, and Melendez goes into second.
Everyone loves a good start to the weekend, right? It's Friday night, kicking the feet up, watching the Kansas City Royals, and you know what? I love watching the Kansas City Royals win to start off my weekend, which is exactly what they did tonight. Welcome to the Royals Recap. My name is Jacob Milham. For all you first-time listeners out there, what we do on each episode is we talk about each Royals game, win, lose, ugly, strong, however it looks, and we just move on to the next. And in game number 8 of the 2024 season, your Kansas City Royals are now officially at 500. That is right. They are 4-4 right now. That is the first time this team has been 500 or above since August 17th of 2022. I think that is ridiculous. That is just crazy to me. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. April 2022, not August. I know my months. I promise I do. You want to know someone who knows their months? It's this Royal starting rotation. It was absolutely looking great to start off 2024 as always. 8 starts, 7 quality starts. We had another one tonight from Brady Singer, who looked very, very strong on the mound. And he's just looking very, very efficient. He pitched 6 1/3, and he only threw 72 pitches. Like that's pretty solid, especially for a guy like Brady Singer. He had, I want to say it was 3 single-digit pitch innings, like where he had 10 or less pitches in that inning. That's just astounding to me. He only allowed 2 hits, and the 1 earned run he had was a solo home run. I'm okay if a starting pitcher gives up a solo home run every now and then. It happens. Yeah, you have a bad pitch and guy has a good swing. That's baseball. That's what you chalk it up to. Ultimately, Brady Bump Day went just about as good as it could have. And the bullpen didn't lose this one, thank goodness. John Schreiber came in, Chris Stratton came in. Both of them having runless appearances. Chris Stratton gets his first win of the young 2024 season, so congratulations to him. And then things got a little uneasy, folks. Will Smith. I saw this. Jack Johnson tweeted out that he was warming up in the bullpen out there in the 8th, and my heart sank. Because this time, the Royals had a 2-1 lead. It's not insurmountable. This isn't Jordan Lyles coming out with a 9-run cushion on Thursday night. This is like, no shit. We need a good inning here, or we're gonna lose this game. And it looked like the Royals were gonna lose the game thanks to Will Smith once again. He only had 1 out, and he allowed 2 base runners in that span. He allowed a hit and a walk and a strikeout. 3 batters, 2 base runners, and McArthur saw enough. McArthur spared us the displeasure of watching another Will Smith unraveling. And who did he turn to? None other than James McArthur, who only needed 2 pitches to induce a game-ending double play. And just like that, your Kansas City Royals are on a winning streak. I mean, it's a 2-game winning streak, but hey, it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's a streak. You can call it that. One guy who's also on a hot streak right now, well, not hot streak, hot run. Let's say that is Salvador Perez, the team captain. Is doing work for your Kansas City Royals. He had another great game tonight. 3 hits. The Royals team only had 7 hits. Salvi had 3 of them. So I don't like one guy carrying the offense, but it happens in baseball sometimes. Some nights it's going to be MJ Melendez, who also had a good night tonight as well, I will say. Some nights it's going to be Bobby Witt Jr. tonight, it was Salvador Perez, who, man, that double he had inches away from a home run. It was almost over the fence, but it still scored a run. And that's what really mattered at the end of it all. I get it. I don't think Vance Wilson sent him on that stretch from third to home where it didn't look like the time to run. The ball wasn't all that far off. Pitcher hadn't made a motion to throw to first. And Salvi isn't known for his speed on base paths. Not really as a calling card at this juncture of his career. But he went anyway. It was a really aggressive move. And it didn't pay out for the Royals this go around. But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The Kansas City Royals win 2-1. They have 2 more games against the Chicago White Sox, who fall to 1-6. Just looking like the blundering team that unfortunately most of baseball predicted they would be. Starting pitching looked pretty good. Michael Kopech, he was a guy that I believed in once upon a time. Not so much anymore. He allows the game-winning run. This wasn't an offensive outburst, but this was something that we needed to see from the Kansas City Royals. Is they first protect Kauffman Stadium. I still believe in home field advantages. I know it's more of a football or a basketball thing, but I still believe in baseball. It's always good to protect your home turf. But we needed to see them win a gritty game. And this was exactly that. This was a gritty game. The Chicago White Sox didn't let them have it easily. They had a pretty decent start on the other side. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 6 hits, I get it. But he kept the Royals off the scoreboard, which is all I would ask of any of our starters. It's I'm feeling really good about this win. There are some points of concern, and I'll point them out. But as a whole, I liked what we saw from the team. Now, we want to talk about some of the concerning things. Bobby Witt Jr. has gone completely cold. Really has. I get it. His outs are hard hit outs. He's just not getting some balls to fall. It's okay, but it's another hitless game for the top 2 batters in the lineup, and that's not what you want at all. Michael Garcia and Bobby both go hitless. Vinny Pasquantino gets a hit. I know I was just talking about him the other night. 1 hit, 1 strikeout. I'll take it. It happens. Adam Frazier put a little bit of respect on the man's name for his performance with runners in scoring position. He is better than most of you will think. As of this recording, he is 400. He has a 400 batting average with runners on base and runners in scoring position. I will take that. I don't believe in clutch players, but I do believe that players can evaluate a situation and tweak their approach and game in that moment to fit that. You hear it all the time on the broadcast. I get it. The announcer jinx does happen a lot. And HUD really loves to talk about situational hitting whenever Adam Frazier comes up to the plate. But he gets on base and he keeps things moving. He had a hit, he had a walk. Nothing wrong with that for your guy down in the 7 hole. Guy down in the 8 hole tonight is if the Royals would have lost, he would have been one of the big whipping points for this Royals recap and for the social media response. I will say that. Hunter Renfroe, man. He did have a hit tonight. Kudos to him. He went 1 for 4. But the other 3 were strikeouts. And he had a really, really bad strikeout looking. And he also had one. He had one swinging. Excuse me, in the bottom of the 6th. Yeah, bottom of the 6th. And in that moment, the game was still completely up for grabs. Tied 1-1. Runners on the corners, and he just strikes out. That was frustrating. So, yeah, you have rough games. Get it. Hunter Renfroe, you had some good defensive plays, showed off that arm strength on Thursday night. I get it. Now remind us of hitting strength. Remind us of that veteran approach that brought you to Kansas City. I think that's what Royals fans deserve, and that's what Royals fans need right now. Because if not, I don't think the Royals would cut bait with him, but maybe we get some more Nelson Velasquez out in right field, possibly. It's worth talking about, worth wondering at least. But we're only 8 games in, 156 games to go. We will see how the punches fall for your Kansas City Royals, but tonight they fell in all the right ways. 2-1 win over the Chicago White Sox. Coming up on the other side of the ad break, we will hear from James McArthur, who earned his first save of 2024 tonight. Plus, we will hear from manager Matt Quatraro. Stay tuned.
All in a night's work. James McArthur, the general, comes on and quick double play and done. It's always interesting at the end of the game to ask a guy how his heart rate is that just closed it out. But, I mean, you were just in the bullpen a minute ago. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, no, the heart's definitely beating right now. But, yeah, happy that it worked out and excited for us.
Tell me the thought process as you come in. You got to get ready quickly. You come in, you know the situation. Nice that you're at home. You're not on the road, but I guess that's exactly how you wanted it to go. What are you thinking?
Yeah, just coming in, trying to execute a pitch and give us a chance to win. Turn a double play. We got a really good defense. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
How much did last year help you? Big situation here last year in a jam against Cleveland, a couple of them in Houston, and you navigated that, had such a good September. How much was that in your Rolodex?
Yeah, it gives you some confidence coming into the year, knowing that we have a really good group, really good team, and we're just going to try to keep piecing it together and win some ball games.
Tell me about this pitching overall and what the rotation has been able to do to watch that from your perspective.
Starters have just been dominant. It's been awesome.
He knew it was coming because I think I had shifty eyes. But I try to hide it better, but it's cold. Thanks for wearing that one. Just the rotation and what they've been able to do every step of the way.
Yeah, they've been awesome coming out here, going 6-7 innings, setting the tone early. It makes it easy for us as a pen to come in there and attack the zone. And we're excited to see him keep going.
All right, last thing. Your offense last night was able to blow it out. Open tonight, a closer game. What are you seeing from this group just a little over a week in, really in every single game?
We got a lot of fight. We're never out of the fight, and we're just out here competing, trying to win games. And special group for sure, young, really talented, and we're excited to keep going. Great job tonight, James. Go warm up. Thanks.
All right, there he is, the general, closing it out as cool and calm as can be.
To start with Salvi working that walk, I mean, that's, for a guy that doesn't walk a lot, that was a really good at-bat. He laid off 3 really tough pitches. But to MJ's at-bat, you know, Kopech throws a lot of fastballs, and he's upper 90s with good carry. And MJ took a couple big swings and then, knows that he needs to move the ball right there, and he really shortened up and put the ball in play. I mean, it was a tremendous at-bat.
Yeah, he's been hot, this first week. What did you see from him? What changes has he made to kind of start the season off the way he has?
I think he carried over what he did last second half of last year, worked in the offseason. Mostly, to me, it's direction, it's balance, it's being able to keep his legs up underneath him, and that helps him use the whole field.
How was it to finally, win a close one at the end? I know you had a couple heartbreakers against the Twins and the Orioles. So how nice was it to kind of come through there, especially?
Yeah, it feels a lot better that way than the other way. I can guarantee you that.
And what made you put in McArthur there in the ninth inning?
Well, Vaughn's a really tough out. He's been a really tough out for us regardless of who's pitching, but he's really done well against lefties. And he does well against lefties regardless of who it is. And, I think McArthur gave us the best chance to win the game right there, his sinker. And then if he goes to another hitter, we like our chances there.
Brady had another great outing. What was he kind of dealing with stuff-wise? He's had a great start of the season, especially.
Yeah, I mean, from my vantage point, it looked like he mixed the 4 and 2 seamer pretty well. He got some balls up when he wanted to, was able to sink the ball, and he got a ton of ground balls, and we played good defense behind him.
You mentioned Salvi. He reached base 4 times. What does he bring to that lineup, especially in the middle of the lineup, to kind of really carry it over to the end?
Yeah, those first 2 at-bats, he really squared those balls up. Fedde threw the ball really well, and for Salvi to square those balls up like that, it was impressive. The base hit to right, obviously we didn't capitalize on those, but his quality of at-bat tonight was really, was really good.
And that is going to do it for tonight's Royals recap presented by Royals Review. Once again, I am Jacob Milham. If you're feeling like it, if you're on social media, I would greatly appreciate if you drop me a follow on X at Jacob Milham KC. My link is down in the podcast description below. Feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a DM. However, I love interacting with y'all listeners and just hearing your opinions on what the Royals are doing and what the podcast is doing too. Saturday, we have another evening game. First pitch is at 6:10 Kauffman Standard Time. Michael Wacha should be getting the start for the Kansas City Royals. I'm curious to see if there's a lineup change going up against Chris Flexen. He's had a very rough 2024 so far. So maybe we can go for another onslaught like how Thursday was against the Chicago White Sox. We'll wait and see. If you want some more in-depth coverage of tonight's game, please go check out RoyalsReview.com. It doesn't have to be just related to a single game. It could be Royals history. It could be Royals commentary. Opinions on the voting process for this April 2nd stuff that is hopefully going to be behind us soon. You can go find it over at RoyalsReview.com. But for everyone out there still listening, I greatly appreciate your support. Thanks for joining me on tonight's Royals recap. And until next time, go